For those of you guys watching, please like, tag, share, and follow.
Wait, no, hang on.
What?
Please like, tag, share, and follow. Dennis, it's the morning. We haven't eaten yet, and I'm hungry. Where are we going?
So you want to do my favorite local place?
Absolutely.
Okay. Good morning and welcome to Coffee Walk. We've got a long overdue CJ update. So we're going to spend some time in the shop today. The guys have done some absolutely amazing work on some CJs. We're going to go over 5 builds, 3 that are finished and 2 are leaving today. 2 of my favorite builds we've done for a long time. So get your cup of Joe and let's go. So this is a full custom that's being built for the West Coast. This guy sent us a very long itemized spreadsheet on exactly how he wanted this Jeep done. I'm talking like 4 pages long. We started off with an 83 CJ7, a very nice rust-free Texas body, Texas frame, and from there we did the 400 horsepower small block, Holley fuel injection, power steering, power wheelwood 4-wheel disc brakes, custom aluminum radiator, catch tank. And this was every nut and bolt done to this customer specification. We painted it color code 9B Olympic white. He wanted the triple blue 83 stripes, 4-inch lift kit, black alloy wheels, 33-inch tires. Now this side exhaust was really something because I guess he had photographs or had one exactly like this as a kid, and he wanted the coating exactly like it was, the welds in the same spot, the header's in the same spot, and believe it or not, we've got an inordinate amount of time in this exhaust, but it's what the customer wanted. And it looks great, quite frankly. I'm gonna note out Kelsey's new license plate. Of course, we restored the hardtop and doors. A lot of times on these CJ7, the door fitment is not good. And actually, a lot of them left the factory, it wasn't good. We spent a lot of time aligning these doors, as you'll see on all these Jeeps today. If you look at the fit and finish in this door and the way they open and shut, we see it from other restoration shops, they never do that. So over there, he's got black denim seats, black carpet, tack, clock, tilt wheel, and this is the Grant Wood steering wheel that he chose. If you note in there, you can see the shifter knob. That is a TKO 5-speed from Tremec. So this is a well-built, strong Jeep. You want to hear it run? I do. It's kind of cool when you jump in these and you hit the key and you hear the fuel injection, the fuel pump kick on. One heck of a cool Jeep to drive. Does everybody need a 400 horsepower CJ7? I don't know, but this guy definitely does. So that one's leaving soon. It was a neat build. Next up, we've got one that's well into the process. This is a local one-owner Jeep. 1980 CJ7, color code OJ Teal Blue, which we rarely see. Of course, we had the body off the chassis. This was not a frame-up total nut and bolt, but the chassis was steam cleaned, repainted. The motor's just in it, so we could have it in it before we did the final paint. Of course, the motor's the correct color. This is the final year of the steel valve cover. In '81, it went to a plastic valve cover. So this is really coming along nice. Something neat that he did is he color keyed the spray liner. Most customers, when they choose a spray liner, they choose it in black. And one reason they're doing the spray liner in these, we're not hiding anything in this, it was a rust-free body. It's because it takes a ton of time, which I'll show you in a minute, to get the floors and everything straight enough to where you can actually paint them. So let's go back and I'll show you one that we just painted the floors in. Okay, so this is a 1978 CJ7 V8 Golden Eagle, color code G7 Alpine White. Now, You see white golden eagles out there pictured on the internet, but to find a real one that the trim tag is correct and it started life as that original paint turned out to be relatively hard. This is going to one of our big collections that we build Jeeps for this guy. We're honored to do his work. It took me 2.5 years to find this Jeep. Had to go all the way to South Dakota to get it. But if you look in the floors, we've got all the proper rivet marks everywhere. The proper seam sealers where it goes. Now this looks much better than it did when it left the factory because they didn't paint them very well. But in order to paint and get the floors in this condition, it is a tremendous amount of work. You're talking as much as another 50 hours to prep the inside of one of these, to be able to paint it to make it look like this. So the motor's in this Jeep. This is a full frame up nut and bolt restoration done to a really, really high quality. Can't wait to show you this one when it's done. We're probably another 2 months out. Now let's go see two that we finished. (1981) H code, which means it's a factory V8 CJ5. Now we went back through our notes. Kevin and I had some discussions over the H code V8 Jeeps over the years. We're only talking about the 1981 because that was the last year of the V8. We believe that most of those were special ordered and carried over. We tracked down close to 20 CJ7s. We've only tracked down 3 H code V8 1981 CJ5s. This one was definitely worthy of restoration. If you look at the color, it's copper brown metallic. It is just absolutely stunning when it's done right. This was a full cosmetic restoration, full mechanical rebuild. So this is a power steering, power brake Jeep. And you can see all the proper decals are where they should be. Emissions decal, caution fan decal, 304 decal, air cleaner element decal, which is the heavy duty air cleaner, which is what the V8's had, because it was a bigger air cleaner, so it is a different decal. And again, power steering, power brakes. And the color code is 1E copper brown metallic. Got the right date coded wheels. Now, since the AT Tracker tires are not in stock, the closest thing for the right width and the right look, we use the BFGs. Now this top on here is an NOS, which means new old stock nutmeg top, made by Best Top. I'm gonna see what year the date code was on it. This had been in the warehouse, in our warehouse, since 2002. We don't sell these because we need these for restoration. So it's a brand new top, brand new hardware, and nutmeg. Nutmeg has not been available in forever. When we started on this Jeep, it was a Texas Jeep. It was very solid, but the interior was very, very weathered. So I found a Jeep from the Northeast, very short mile, same year, but had some rust issues, but it had been garage kept with a hardtop on it. So that's how we came up with this incredibly crisp dash pad and these seats. So if you look at the interior, it's just absolutely beautiful. This is not only is this an H code 304, which is crazy special. Like I said, it's a T176 Dana 300 TAC clock Jeep. So again, one of 3 that we know that exist. And once we're done painting these, we always put the clear right here. So when you step inside these, you're not going to scratch it. So there's a lot of detail on this Jeep. I believe it's the finest 81 H code V8 CJ5 in existence at this time. Now, one of my favorite Jeeps, actually it's always been my favorite Jeep, is the Jeep Scrambler. We've been over how often and how rare these Jeeps are. Production figures are crazy low, about 28,000 over the years. This is an 84, there's around 4,000 built in 84. 4C ice blue metallic with a Laredo package and nutmeg interior. We've been working on this Jeep for 6 or 7 months. We are 672 hours into this restoration. It's finally completed. That Jeep right there took 570 hours. And the V8 Jeep, custom Jeep, took 525 hours. So this one's 672 hours, and that's what it takes to get one to this level. It is absolutely phenomenal. And over the 6 months we've been working on these, most of the major collectors are aware that this Jeep is here. There has not been another 4C ice blue Laredo CJ8 pop up. I believe this is the only one in existence. We'll start with the interior because it's just amazing. The blue color just sets everything. Blue and nutmeg go together really, really well. Look at the door panels, the seats. And yes, we got a set of blue Americana mats, which are literally unobtainable. There's a lot of NOS parts in this Jeep. Many, many NOS parts. Carpet kit. just unobtainable in NOS for nutmeg. Leather wrapped steering wheel, restored by Mr. Keith Craft himself, who I think is the best in the industry on steering wheels. We're gonna walk around the other side. Again, look how our doors fit. Many of these Scramblers from the factory have got big gaps down here. Incredible. Grab handle is also done by Mr. Keith Craft. NOS T5 shift boot, which is nearly impossible to find. Got the proper gaskets up here between the hardtop and the roll bar. Roll bar mounted spare, which is rare. And look at the bed in this truck. I am so proud of this. Rear bumper is an NOS chrome bumper, which we're down to about 5 of them, and no, they're not for sale. The end caps, we have some NOS plastic end caps. We installed 2 sets. They've been sitting so long, they cracked when we installed them. So these are actually milled out of aluminum. And then we put the proper finish on and put it on there. You cannot tell, but these will not ever break. And we had an NOS set of bumper brackets. So we put some really, really, really expensive parts in this. And I want you to look inside, and I'm gonna give Ramirez Restrepo, which you can find him on Project Survivor Facebook page, restored our gauges. Come check out these gauges. Absolutely stunning work. The clock, the tack, all 5 gauges have been restored. Now, nobody, I mean nobody does an engine bay to this level that we do it. Oh, here's another very nice touch. A set of NOS Marshall lights that we've had for a long time. The proper bolts, proper light tabs, NOS grill, NOS hood catches. Look at this engine bay. Now, this is a California Jeep, and the way you can tell that when you open the hood is it's a serpentine drive. So, as you know, we've got all these decals in stock, the emission decals for 76 to 86, but we had to specifically recreate this decal because it is different for California. So look at the work of art that Zach did on that emissions decal. Love it. Caution fan decal, air cleaner decal. You got your barcode decal for the air cleaner. You even had the barcode for the carburetor. And if you look, we did all the zinc plating and CAD plating. It was all done in this Jeep as it left the factory. It's all over the place. All the California emissions is on it. We just absolutely knocked this one out of the park. I love it. Well, there you have it. Updates on 5 CJs. I want to give a big thank you to our customers for entrusting us to their babies with these restorations and letting us do them to this level. Big shout out to my staff. You guys know you are. I love you guys. You're the absolute best. These are some of the finest restorations I've seen ever. So for these of you guys watching, please like, tag, share.
Wait, no, hang on.
What?
Please like, tag, share, and follow Dennis. It's the morning. We haven't eaten yet, and I'm hungry. Where are we going?
So you want to do my favorite local place?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to take you to my favorite local place for breakfast and coffee. Let's go. So we're going to drive one of the rarest and most desirable LJs ever built, which is a TJ Unlimited. Not only is this one a Rubicon with a hardtop, it's the Sahara edition. They made 1,000 of them. This is number 478. It just came in. They're really hard to find. We're going to drive that to Ballard Street, the best breakfast in Wiley. So when we came into Wiley, Texas, approximately 25 years ago, this road here, which is 544, was a 2-lane blacktop, as in 1 lane on either side. And it's called FM 544, which stands for Farm to Market. So this is a farm to market road. On this entire road, there was only 3 businesses. Look at it now. And of course, Collins Brothers was one of those businesses. Then a gas station closed, and there were a number of years, we were one of only 2 businesses on the entire road. None of this was here. So now you look at the traffic, and we'll come driving by the shop in a minute. And the reason we came out here is we needed 2 acres. That's how much room I wanted. I wanted a permit to have a wrecking yard, which you have in the back. We got a 99-year permit. We wanted to do automotive, and we just quite frankly couldn't stand Dallas anymore. It was too expensive. I needed a lot of space to put this plan together for Jeep CJs. So Kevin and I and Kim put this plan together and came out here, and everybody thought we were nuts. And for the longest time, the property in front of Collins Brothers, which is over here to the left, it was a sector, which I'm not a land expert, but I believe a sector is 400 plus acres. The person that owned it said, well, they were living, it would never be developed. So they passed away about 10 years ago, and now there's a Target, a Kohl's, you know, Cotton Patch, everything across the street from us. But when we used to show up at the shop, there was nothing on either side. We would look out front just in this huge 400-acre expanse. There was nothing on it. And then it kind of turned into Automotive Road. I like to think that we started that. And what was else really neat about Wiley is people that knew Wiley was that's where the Jeep place is. So yep, you had to pass the Jeep place coming into downtown Wiley. So Wiley, the city itself, downtown, was started in about the 1870s. And when we're going to eat, my favorite breakfast place has got some signage on the wall with horseless carriage out front and the dirt road of the town, and the town is still there. We're literally going to eat in a building that was built in the 1870s. So now we've got Firestone as automotive. Again, none of this was here. We used to land helicopters in that field next to there. And we got Collins Brothers, which is 2 solid acres of Jeep heaven. Then Discount Tire came in. So a lot of automotive followed us. We even have a QT, which we're going to turn around here because they were nice enough to put a curb cut in here and put a traffic light and turn around. So there you have it. That's how we ended up in Wiley, Texas. Okay, so we're rolling downtown Wiley now. Like I said, the lead interest for Wiley for a number of years was the Jeep store coming in. Back in the day, in the 50s and 60s, there was a store down here called the Ladylike Shop. Actually, I think it made it to the 70s and 80s. It was over here to the right. And believe it or not, it was one of the top destinations to buy ski clothing. So everybody Dallas Fort Worth would drive all the way out to Wiley to get their discounted ski clothing to go to Colorado. Crazy as that. So here's Ballard Street Cafe.
Princess Park.
Now they say right here the store was renovated circa 1900. It was built. I believe this downtown street was built in the 1870s. But nevertheless, Ballard Street has been here, or this general store has been here since 1900. This is my favorite breakfast in Wiley. Come on. All right, I'm gonna do chopped steak, eggs over easy, hash browns deep fried, and pancakes. Thank you, ma'am. So these are deep fried hash browns. Ronnie, who runs the restaurant now, used to hate it when I ordered these because it kind of messes up his fryer. But he finally got used to it. You gotta realize when you fry it in there, the hash browns float all over the place, but they sure do taste good deep fried. So if you ever come in, make sure you get your hash browns deep fried. Tell Ronnie Dennis said hi. And then Charlotte and Gary own the restaurant, and that's who used to run it before Ronnie and his wife came in, so become friends with them. But I've literally eaten here in the hundreds of times. This is the way I like it. Chopped steak, eggs over easy, deep fried hash browns. Yes, I'm using ketchup. You gotta get your butter in the middle of the pancake. I just washed my hands. Plenty of syrup. This is so good. And this is the kind of thing that you gotta mix together just to make it just right. So we get a nice pie of chopped steak there. They use great beef here. Their hamburgers here are fantastic. Chicken fried steak here is fantastic. They have a catfish night. But literally, if you ever come into Wiley and you're hungry and you want a proper home-cooked meal, I also like sitting at the bar. You can look over there if you request. You can sit at the bar and watch them cook. Okay, you got hash browns, got some egg, got my chopped steak with a little bit of ketchup.
Ultimate bite right out of the gate.
Perfect.
Party foul?
Party foul, the lid came off. I think there must have been like a young kid sitting here earlier who thought it'd be funny to loosen the lid. You know how some people do it on top of the pepper. Make sure that's tight. So anyways, I didn't actually want that much syrup, the lid just came off. Well, that was great as always. I want to thank Gary and Charlotte Ronnie and Linda for keeping this institution going. This is an amazing restaurant. You want some of the best home cooking in the world, this is it. Ballard Street Cafe on Ballard Street in downtown Wiley, Texas. Thank you guys for watching today. Please like, tag, share, and follow. See you next time.